Hello people, welcome back to my channel, Stephanie Space. My name is Stephanie as the channel name goes, and you're welcome to my beauty room series where I teach you all you need to know about applying makeup on yourself. Okay, that's what this beauty room series is dedicated to. My channel focuses on talking about my faith, my Christian faith, personal development, Christian womanhood, feminism, marriage, relationship, and everything I find worth talking about. Okay, I also share beauty room makeup tutorials like this video is focused on, which I call my beauty room series, and then I share vlogs, lifestyle vlogs that's just highlights a few moments from my life here and there. So if my channel is something you're interested in, make sure to click the subscribe button. You are very welcome here. So in my last beauty room video, I taught you my 3-step pre-makeup base routine to teach you what you need to know. Very simple step of what you need to apply on your skin to prep your skin before you apply any makeup product, because that is the beginning of getting a flawless makeup look. If you haven't watched that video, you want to watch it, because that is like the first step that you need to know, and you need to applying any kind of makeup on your face and achieving a flawless skin-like makeup. Now in today's video, I'm going to be focusing on foundation 101, how to apply foundation the right way to achieve a flawless foundation application or a skin-like foundation application. This tutorial is going to teach you everything you need to know about applying foundation the right way. There are tips that you are not aware of that could take your foundation application from zero and struggling, from cakey and botched and cracked, to a skin-like, flawless, and just beautiful overall foundation application. So if you're interested in learning how to apply your foundation the right way, the flawless way, and taking your foundation game from zero and struggling to 100 and triumphant, make sure you pay attention, keep watching the video and pay attention to all the tips that I share here. Trust me, there are some tips that you've probably never known about, and there are some tips that you've probably never heard or tried. All right, let's get started. So the first thing you want to do is make sure that your pre-makeup base is applied. I have already applied mine here because my previous video I showed you how to apply your pre-makeup base to achieve flawless makeup. If you haven't seen that video, make sure to watch it. I'll try to link it to this video or to the description box, or you can just go to my profile, to my video channel, and you'll see the last makeup video of the beauty room is how to apply the perfect pre-makeup base. It's just a 3-step process, but it will give you the perfect pre-makeup base for you to apply makeup and achieve a flawless look. So the first thing you want to make sure is that your foundation, whatever foundation you are using, is your skin shade, 1, and 2, it is for your skin type. For example, now my skin is oily skin. I have a combination skin, so here is oily, my T-zone areas are oily, and what I do is make sure I use an oil control foundation. If you're oily, get a matte foundation or an oil control foundation. I personally don't really like matte, not because matte is bad, no. Oily skin, matte foundations are made for oily skin types and they work for so many oily skin people. I don't like it because a lot of them feel dry, and I don't like when I wear makeup and it feels like it has dried out my face. So I always go for an oil control foundation that is not mattifying like that. It has a natural feel. It still feels like my face. Okay, this doesn't, Avoir is what I'm using right now currently, and it doesn't dry out my face at all. Okay, so make sure that if you have dry skin, go for a dewy foundation. That is what you need. You don't have oil on your face, so you want to make sure that you go for something that is made for your skin type. Number 1, very, very important. Now the next thing is you need to choose your blending tool. You can either blend your foundation with a beauty sponge like this. It's called a beauty blender or a beauty sponge, or you can blend it with a foundation brush. Foundation brushes are usually dense like this. You can see it is dense, packed on, and they are flat. Flat, dense brushes are your foundation brushes. Okay, this is my foundation brush and this is my beauty sponge. So very, very important, please note, if you're using a beauty sponge, you have to make sure that you're buying a beauty sponge that is good, not those ones they sell by the roadside that are rubber like, right? Those are not going to really blend your foundation well. they are just going to make your foundation sit on top of your face. This is more like a sponge like feel. The original kind of beauty blender is almost spot like, sorry, sponge like. You can get it from any place where they sell good makeup products, right? There are different brands. You can get anyone as long as it's sponge like. And how you know it's sponge like is that it can take in water. It feels, you can just get the feel. It feels more like a sponge. It's not a sponge, but it feels more like a sponge, right? It's called a beauty sponge for a reason. So this one can control the product. So when you apply foundation, it takes in a bit and then it gives you, helps you blend it out on your skin in a way that is controlling how much product you are getting to your face. That's why a good beauty blender matters a lot. Beauty blender, beauty sponge, that's what it's called. Now, another thing to note about your beauty sponge, if you're using a beauty sponge, is please note that you have to dip it in water. It has to be damp dry, not dry. A lot of people don't know this, but there's no professional makeup artist or good makeup girly who uses a dry beauty sponge. Never ever. A lot of people don't know this, and that's why their makeup doesn't, it's like, why is it not giving me a flawless feel, or why is it not blending out well? It's because you're using a dry beauty sponge. Please don't use a dry beauty sponge. You need to dip your sponge in water, put it under running water or dip it in water. Make sure clean water, of course. Then when you do that, you dry it out, squeeze it out so that there's no excess water. Then you get a cotton towel, or you could also use a tissue paper towel, right? Not tissue paper, paper towel. And then you squeeze out, use it to squeeze out every remaining drop of water inside it. Very important, because it's not supposed to be wet. It's just supposed to be damp dry, not wet, not damp wet with water inside, but damp dry. There's no water in this, but it is damp. It is not dry, it is damp dry. This is so important to helping you blend your foundation seamlessly. So please don't forget this, and don't skip this step if you are using a beauty sponge to blend out your foundation. Very, very important. Usually that's why it's, when you dip it in water, it also doubles in size. That's why you might say, the one I got is quite smaller. What happens is once you dip it in water, it doubles in size. That's why you have it bigger than that. So now I'm going to get into the technique of blending out the foundation. Okay, your foundation, whatever it is. This is my foundation. I have removed the cap. I'm going to put it at the back of my palm. Now, you don't need too much for foundation. You just need 1 pump or 2 pumps of your foundation. For this one, I took 1.5 because I'm going to mix it with this one to get my perfect shade. This is so close to my shade, but it's not my perfect shade. So I'm going to mix it with a bit of this to get my perfect shade. So now I've mixed the both foundations to get my perfect shade. So when you put your pump here, you just need 2 pumps or even 1, okay? Because one of the reasons why people, depending on how your pump is, basically you don't need a lot of foundation. The more you use, the more likely that your foundation will turn out cakey instead of flawless and skin-like, okay? So you want just 1 or 2 pumps of your foundation. You can see how this looks. Now, I like to mix my foundation, even if I'm using just 1 foundation, that is my perfect shade. I like to just do it like that so that helps it, because I feel like that helps it to my beauty sponge to not pack on too much at the same time. So what I'm going to do now is use my beauty sponge for one part of my face and use my foundation brush for the other part to show you how to use the technique right. So first things first, I'm going to try and spot correct my spot around this area and here, just so that, because my foundation is not full coverage, it is medium coverage. That's another thing to note. You can either get a full coverage foundation, which means that it has full coverage. It is going to give you, once you apply it, that's all you see. The foundation just covers everything on your face. Then there's medium coverage that you can either build up into full coverage by applying more, or you just want a sheer look. So it would give you a nice foundation, but it wouldn't necessarily cover every spot on your face. So what I do to spot correct, sometimes I don't always bother with it. I have this darker foundation shade, so I put a bit on my palm here, take a brush like this, a fluffy brush like this, and just go over that area. So I do that, I concentrate it on the spots area, and just also now blend it out. When applying foundation, just so that it's not heavily packed, do you get? So I'm making sure that I'm sharing it out. Very important, because I don't like foundation that looks packed. If you don't do that, you start building up a lot of product that now becomes, heavy. So I'm also going to do the same thing for this spot here. Pack it on there first, then blend it out afterwards. So I don't spot correct much, because I don't really think by the time I'm done with a full makeup, except I'm just doing foundation, but by the time I'm done with full makeup, most times the spots don't even show. So I'm just going to be doing this for the sake of this video. Okay, so next I'm going in with my beauty blender now. So please watch what I do. Remember, your damp, dry beauty blender. There's no water in this at all, but it's damp. It's damp. Okay, it's not dry. It's damp. Damp, dry. So now I'm going to pick a corner. Make sure you pick a corner. You can't just be going everywhere because you have a whole round surface. You have to pick a corner. Every tip here matters. You have to pick a corner. I've picked here, and you're going to use that corner throughout your blending process. Okay, very important. So just do this. Take a side, then push it in. You take that product, but still dab it into the part of your skin. You see that? So what you have is in a way, it has, the beauty sponge absorbs any excess, and it has smoothened it out to apply on your skin. These things matter. If you just go there, take it and put it, you give yourself a more difficult work. But here it has smoothened out the product, soaked any excess, and giving you what to work with. Okay, so that you can now have a smooth application on a smooth surface. So what you do next is to concentrate on an area. Usually I'll tell you to start from under your face, very important, and then build up to the top of your face. So that's what we're going to do now. So I start here. Make sure that you are dabbing it. You dab it in one area, and then you move it to the next. That's what to do. Dab it on one area, dab it and blend it on one area, then you start moving it to the next area, doing the same thing. Dab it in like 3 times, then move it next. You can see, dab it, move it. That way you can see there's no streak. It looks flawless. So I've taken it up. I'm doing the same thing with whatever is left, dabbing it. So I'm blending it in to my skin, moving it after blending it on one spot, then continue. You see, I'm not going up and down, not just doing, yeah, that's how to do it. And the more you practice, the faster you can get at it without making mistakes. So I'm just taking everything left. You can see what I took that first time, I haven't gone back in, is enough to create a foundation on this side of my skin. Can you see that? So I'm taking whatever is left, and I'm doing the same thing at my jaw area and below my face, my chin. Very important. Now I'm also going here. Know that you can go in with a little more foundation. So I'm going to decide where I took from, because I don't need much. You can see that, and I'm just going to use that at the top of my head. Also my eye socket area, you can see that. Now if you're using highlighter, like you're going to highlight your face, that will be a different video, but you don't need to apply your foundation to this point because that will make it crease, your highlighter crease. So but for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to apply it everywhere because we're doing a foundation video. So you just go over it again. You can see it's already seamless, but then you can go over it with your sponge again without extra product, okay? Because the more product you use, the less flawless is going to come out. So can you see that? Can you see how that looks? This is flawless. This looks skin-like. This is flawless. This is a good blend. There's no patchiness, there's no botch. It's just well applied. It has laid well into the skin. It's like the skin, it has married into the skin. It looks one with the skin as opposed to standing out from the skin. Okay, so that's it for the beauty blender. I just like to come with whatever is left in the beauty blender. Whatever is left, nothing like that, just to, you know, make it all marry well. Now we're using the foundation brush. Watch what I'm going to do, very important. I prefer to use my beauty blender these days. Some seasons I prefer to use my foundation brush, but what I found out is most times when I use my foundation brush, I always go over it with a beauty blender to smoothen it out, even though your beauty foundation brush can give you a properly blended makeup look as well. The foundation brush is also great if you want to achieve full coverage, because even if you're using a medium coverage foundation, this packs on more than the beauty blender, right? Because the beauty blender sort of absorbs some of the product and it helps to control your product usage, right? And gives you whatever is left. But this will pack it on and then you have to blend it out, but it will give you a fuller coverage. That's the point. Do you get? So now let's go in. So I'm going to go in on one side. You pick a side, remember? Then when you pick that side, you do the same thing I did with the beauty sponge. You dab it in. It's like you're smoothing it out even on the brush, right? So you don't just have it all over the brush. And then you start from a spot as well. Can you see? Dab it in, dab it in, dab it in. Let it enter the skin well. On one spot, then you now move to another spot. Dab it in, dab it in, dab it in. Let it enter the skin well before you move again. The same technique with the beauty sponge. Then dab it in, dab it in, dab it in. Can you see how the beauty sponge gives you more coverage? Dab it in, dab it in, dab it in before you move again. Dab it in. So you are taking it one spot. You're not just going all over the face. Very important to note. So you are pushing it into one particular spot, then moving to the next spot right beside it, then doing the same thing. You just repeat the same process until you've gone all over the face, literally. So now you want to also make sure that you take it. You're not just stopping your foundation here. You have to blend it below your neckline, your jaw. That's one mistake people make. They just stop it at, you have to blend it. And it's whatever is left after blending the face. So there's also not so much product, but it's well blended and married to your neck. So that it doesn't look like your neck is standing differently or your face, it's just the whole under your face is standing differently from your whole face. So now I'm going to go in with just a little from where we came from, remember, for the head spot, because there isn't much left. And I'm going to apply the same technique. One spot, one spot, one spot, dab it in, then move to the next spot, then do that again, do that again, do that again. Go over. See that? And we're done. Can you see how seamless that looks? This is the brush. the foundation brush. But because we used a good technique, you dab in multiple times in one spot. Start from one spot, dab it in, dab it in, dab it in. After you have, remember, smoothing it on your hand, the back of your hand, right? And then, so it has taken out so much excess, and smoothing it out on your brush. And then you now come here, blend it in on one spot, blend it in, let it marry well and enter into your skin well. And then you move to the next spot, just not creating any line, you're just moving gradually, and then doing the same thing, moving just like that till you go all over the face. Okay, so you can see how well this is blended, married to my skin, just like here. Which part do you like more? You can see this is more full coverage as well. Like I told you, this is also well blended but less coverage. This mostly gives you, the beauty blender mostly gives you a medium coverage. This usually gives you, the brush usually gives you a full coverage. Can you see that? So I personally, depending on my mood, but most times I like medium coverage because it doesn't make the makeup look too much. But if I want like gang makeup, and you know, I go with a full coverage. Or if I really want to cover stuff on my face, I go with full coverage, and I usually use a brush. Now you can see that just even with the brush, we're good to go because we blended well, we used the right technique. I can just go on to the next thing like this. But for extra, you know, you can just use your beauty sponge and just go over everything. If you feel like that will give it even more smoothness, that blends it out even more. Can you see how this looks? So this is my face with foundation now. Can you see how gorgeous that looks? So I just realized that I did not apply foundation to the middle of my head. I don't know why I skipped that part. So I'm just going to do that. So that's my face, okay, with foundation. You can see how seamless that looks. And after this, you can now apply your powder, going with your face powder. This is my face powder. You can get your face powder and just go in with that. Too much of everything is bad. So you can see even with powder, I make sure I put it down and use the same technique. So if you noticed, I did not powder my under eyes and certain places because I want to go do a little highlight and contour in those areas, and come back to properly end this video. This tutorial is not about highlight and contour, so it's just about foundation. So in a different tutorial, I am going to teach you how to properly apply your highlight and contour. I'll be right back. I'm back. I told you I'll be right back, didn't I? The tutorial that you have just watched, if you apply all the tips that I have shared, I promise you that it will take your foundation application to all the way up. You would fall in love with applying foundation again. Okay, you can just apply your foundation, put on your powder, do your eyebrows and do your lip gloss, or just apply your foundation, brush your eyebrows and do your lip whatever you put on your lip gloss, your lipstick, brush your brows, use your mascara and keep it going. So if you apply these tips that I have taught you in this tutorial, you will achieve a flawless skin like foundation application. Let me know what tip you're just hearing for the first time in the comment section. Let me know what you learned, and let me know if you'll be trying these tips on yourself. Okay, I would also love to hear feedback when you do try it. Come back and let me know how it went. I would love to hear that. I have a couple of makeup tutorials lined up. As you can see, I'm taking it layer by after layer, but if there's something that you want me to teach you, anything that you have in mind that you'd like to learn, feel free to leave it in the comment section, so that in case it's not on my list of tutorials to do, I will get to it and I'll include it. All right, let me know if you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you did, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget, if you want to learn more about makeup, make sure to subscribe so that you'd always get notified whenever I put out my beauty room videos. Don't forget to share this video also to your girlies who are trying to learn how to do their makeup, your sisters, your cousins, your friends, whoever it is, your girls group chat. And I guess that'll be all for this video. I'll see you guys in my next video. Until then, do take care of yourself. Bye bye.